Good day. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather pattern for tomorrow and on through the weekend. Here is model's depiction of what precipitation will look like. And tonight we aren't really expecting anything. It'll just be cold. The only thing that stands out that doesn't really show up on this model guidance is that there's some lake effect snow that's possible on especially the east side of Flathead Lake. Otherwise, as we go through the day on Friday, we start to see some returns and light snow show up. It's not really until maybe midday or the second half of Friday where we see more snow showing up in northwest Montana and some down in north central Idaho, and that expands as we go through the day. And it gets a little bit more vigorous for Friday evening and night. And then as we get into Saturday, there's more of a showery scenario where we're seeing maybe even some snow bands. There's one that's showing up across north central Idaho to Hamilton. I wouldn't get too caught up on some of the placement of what this model is showing on some of these returns, but the fact that it's showing some of these stronger bands means that on Saturday we'll probably see places that are sunny and others that are getting periods of moderate snow. And as we work our way through Saturday, we see even in the afternoon more coverage of showers, maybe even more bands and changing directions a little bit. So plenty of opportunities for more snow accumulations. And then as we get into Saturday night and Sunday, we have another Arctic front that works its way into the forecast area, and we start to see that cold air move in late evening and overnight into West Glacier and along Highway 2 and into Kalispell, and that it continues its way into western Montana overnight and through Sunday morning. And then it backs off maybe just a little bit on the cold air during Sunday, and then again Sunday night and Monday, a reinforcement of this cold air. If we look at the depiction of what some of the wind gusts could be like, Sunday morning we're seeing wind gusts well into the 40s, near 50 from Bad Rock Canyon through Kalispell and near Columbia Falls. So blowing snow will probably be another problem with this one. And if we get down closer to Missoula, Highway 12, I-90, McDonald Pass, we're seeing that we could have a fair amount of gusts in the 30s and into the 40s. Let's take a look at what the precipitation looks like. Now this is one of our models, and what it's going to do is just accumulate the precipitation starting on Friday and going through early next week. Friday morning we don't really see much of an increase. By later in the day there's some light precip, and it's really Friday night and Saturday that we start to see some of these values increase. And then as we get into Sunday, there's a lot more moisture that starts working its way into the region, and we're just starting to see north central Idaho all the way into the north half of Lemhi County into west central Montana around Missoula and over to Butte is really highlighting a fair amount of precipitation. And it's kind of an interesting setup with all that cold air that's coming in from the east interacting with this moisture. And the thing that is making it a little difficult to narrow down where all this precip and snow will be is where all the moisture is going to be. Is it going to be farther south and show these big bullseyes in the terrain over by Boise and just barely up into the Clearwaters? Or does this shift a little bit farther north and cause a swath of heavy snow all the way from Grangeville through Missoula? Right now, this model is saying that all the way through Missoula and north to the southern Mission Valley has a pretty good setup to see a fair amount of snow and periods of heavy snow. But we're just not as sure where this is going to set up. If this ends up south, it would be more Lemhi County and north central Idaho that gets hit. If it goes a little bit farther north, Missoula would be one of the hardest hit, Missoula Bitterroot Valleys, and making it difficult because this is a potential for a really high impact type snow. Stepping back over here to the threat matrix, I highlighted Saturday for the snow showers. Seems like on Friday it's going to be late enough in the day that it's not much of an impact on Friday, but Saturday is when we have more snow showers and accumulations. And then the Sunday we have a mix of snow and blowing snow depending on where you are. It might be more of a blowing snow in northwest Montana as it does get kind of dry. It does seem like as early as Sunday and Monday we could start seeing the problems with that heavier snow. The next update is planned on Sunday. Have a good day.